Hello, Capricorn. Welcome back to Love from a Leo. I am Tay, and this is your May 2019 tarot reading. So before we start, I want to let you know what crystals that I'm using and also what message I got when I was meditating with your sign. So first off, we have rose quartz, amethyst, angelite, and last but not least, clear quartz. Alrighty, so the message that I got when I was sitting with the Capricorn energy, this month is going to be about your self-esteem, how you view yourself, your self-image, and also your pride within yourself, how you bring your inner light out, okay? So this is going to be very Capricorn based. So this is going to be based on you, all right? So you may have some factors come in and out of the reading, but for the most part, it's going to be about you as a Capricorn and how you express yourself to the greatest of your abilities, okay? So let's go ahead and look into your past. What is the past for Capricorn? The energy for your past, we have the King of Wands in reverse. So you could have had a very embarrassing moment. You could have been in a situation where you felt very vulnerable and you may have spazzed. You may have had like an irritable moment where you just let everyone know how you feel. It's a very fiery type of energy, and normally that energy is warm and enthusiastic, and since it's in reverse, it's saying that you had a moment where you were really embarrassed yourself because you kind of went too overboard with expressing yourself. And it could have just been a breakdown moment or a moment where you really just didn't give a fuck. And so it came out in a way that could have been like a foot and mouth type of situation. So it was something that you were juggling. You had something that you were trying to figure out, right? Five of Swords. You weren't very sure if you were on the winning side or the losing side. So I think there was something that needed to be confronted, but it kept getting pushed to the back burner. And so then you had a moment of clarity and you communicated your truth. You communicated your truth, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think where it did go wrong is it came off very abrasive. It could have came off very aggressive. So let's just go ahead and see. What were you juggling? What was Capricorn juggling in the past? Wheel of Fortune. So there were some changes that you were not expecting and they happened, right? And so I think you were just trying to figure out how to move on from these changes, what to do next after these changes. But I think you got stuck looking at the bad instead of looking at the good, okay? And this could have involved a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. You may have had a falling out with this person. What did you communicate that was the foot and mouth situation? So you communicated something maybe about your health. Maybe you felt like you were the reason why someone was who they were and you let them know, you let them have it. Maybe you felt like they thought too highly of themselves and you had to bring them back down to earth. So it really just depends on what the situation was. But I think you really had to let someone know, like, hey, I can do bad all by myself. And I think that's what ended up happening. So let's see if we can figure out who this was involving. What sign was Capricorn dealing with in the past to help resonate? All right, we got two cards, so let's see what the energy is pulling for. We got Five of Swords, so it can be an air sign, or it could have been a Gemini. Or this could have been a situation with a Sagittarius, a karmic situation with a Sagittarius. Or someone who has very Sagittarian-like energy. What's happening now in the present? Now that we know what happened in the past, let's see how we've moved past that, okay? All three cards. So the energy for your present, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. All right, Capricorn, it's time for you to boss up, okay, sweetie? You got to stop allowing yourself to torture or have these ongoing thoughts. It's time to let them go. It's time to confront them or leave them behind. You're at a position where it's up to you. It's up to you to use your own strength and to really maximize who you are as a Capricorn and leave all of those torturous thoughts that you keep having. Leave all of those things that you regret or leave all the things that you felt like didn't go the way you planned it to, it's okay. Like, you don't have to live in that realm. You can move on from it. You have to allow yourself. So what have you been having these thoughts about? So we have the King of Cups here. So something to do with your emotions. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to control your emotions. Maybe after your outburst or your time of truth, as I like to say, when you were really letting everyone know how you really feel, I think you are now having these thoughts of like, okay, maybe I need to try to learn how to control my emotions so I don't act on impulse. And even if you're a person who doesn't, normally react that way emotionally, I think you're like, okay, I need to start centering myself more. Or you're like, that was too much. I never want to go through that again. Let me figure out what I have to do to fix that. We have the we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So I think the way that you're trying to fix it, you're like, okay, well, I'm just not going to fuck with anybody. I'm going to be cold. I'm going to be distant. I'm going to be standoffish. And I don't think you should do that. I think that it's only going to make things harder for you. I think it's going to make you look like a cold person. I think that's just not the way to go. But I think that is the way that you're trying to go. So let's see. I mean, that seems pretty cut and dry. Let's get some advice. What should Capricorn do during this moment of trying to figure out what to do after all of this commotion that has went on? Because I think it's a matter of how you represent yourself. And I think that's why you're so focused on it. You're like, I really fucked up this time. And I think you really are like, you want to fix it because you know that that's not you. And let's face it, you're a Capricorn. You want to be seen in the best light. You don't want to be seen struggling. You don't want to be seen as a person who can't control themselves. So this is very important to you. But if you really focus too hard on it, it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go. Okay. So the two pieces of advice that we have is the Sagittarius card, ironically, the Temperance card. So Temperance is all about facing what things have already happened. So facing all of the emotional things that have happened, facing all of the embarrassing moments, the good and the bad, and being honest with yourself so that you can move towards it. It's kind of shedding the light on everything so that you can figure out how to be just grounded as a person, as an individual, and as a spirit. So you really need to just let the bygones be bygones and try to move past it with a healing type of energy. Heal yourself and try not to do it because you think it's going to look good to other people. You need to do it for yourself. It's an inner healing. And then we have Mercury, the Magician card, which is connected to Gemini and also Virgo, I would say. But more specifically Gemini, because Gemini did come back up in your past. So the Magician card is all about you doing what you have to do to get what you want. You using your own resources. So instead of blaming anyone, instead of going on tangents, going on rants, really take up for your own actions and look at what happened and look at how you can improve it for the better. You really want to make sure you're looking at the bigger picture, the bigger scheme of things, and use your resources accordingly so that you can have a more successful future. So let's go ahead and move on into your future. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. So the energy that we have is the Knave of Wands. So you're being the rookie in a situation. You're learning. You're learning how to love yourself again. You're learning how to be emotionally independent. I think you went through a time where you were a little afraid of being your own, like truly being in charge of your emotions, truly being in charge of how you feel, your self-esteem. And now you're at a point where you're able to come to terms with that. And it takes gut. It does take work. It does take finding your own light and letting it shine through. It's not an easy thing. It's about your individuality, for God's sake. So, but the details in that situation, the deeper meaning behind that is you are in the future, you find that light at the end of the tunnel that you're looking for. So this is a really, really good thing. This means that you've done a lot of work on yourself. And it also just means that, things are looking up, things are they're going to become more smooth for you. So all of this past and present energy that you have here of feeling less than mature, less than ready to, I think you just feel a little off. You just feel like, I want to look my best. I want to be my best. But how do I get to that point? How do I fix what I've already messed up in the past? You find the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's a great start. We then have the Empress card. So that's obviously, that's very, very good for any sign, but specifically you being an earth sign. The Empress card is very abundant. So I feel like this means that the future holds a lot of abundance for you. You may even have a time where you're able to get closer to someone who can help you blossom into the person that you need to become and become more secure within yourself. So that's a wonderful thing. This may even mean that a mature woman in your life can come in and kind of help you in the future. But I do think it's more about you just becoming more abundant within yourself and having more self-worth and really appreciating yourself, pampering yourself, seeing yourself as the Empress. You know what I mean? And then last but not least, we have the Eight of Swords. So this is kind of about being isolated, but what I feel like in this reading particularly, it's like you're isolated by choice. I feel like you have accepted what it means to truly be a ride or die for yourself. So it's like no matter what you do to embarrass yourself, no matter what people think, no matter what people say, you're at a point where you're like, look, I got myself, I'm isolated for me. And I think you needed this time to kind of be in the spotlight on your own. You know, you don't have anyone else to fall back on. You don't have anyone else to clean up the mess that you may have made. And so it really shows you that, yeah, you can be alone, but there's the light at the end of the tunnel. And at the end of that tunnel is you being a new and better you as an earth sign. So I think that's what this is all about. And quite frankly, I think your future holds a lot of good things. And I think it holds a very endearing future for yourself, very abundant, very secure. That's amazing. The main part about this is you're going to be learning all about this. So it's like you're going through all of this as a new, fresh mind, you know? So it's not always going to be perfect, but it is going to be something that you'll remember for a lifetime because this is like your learning phases. So you have to go through all that, you know, sticky problems to get to this point in your future, which I think is going to be very just amazing. What advice can I give Capricorn so that they can go through this transition easily in the future? So the advice, we have the King of Pentacles, Cardinal Earth. Okay, so this is you, Capricorn. This is you, Capricorn. Just be yourself. That's what it means. I can't tell you how to be yourself. That's all up to, you know, how you portray yourself, how you see yourself, how you value yourself. All of those things will make up who you are as a person. And I know you got this. Simply put, be you. Your card literally came out. That's amazing. I think that the hardest part is over, Capricorn. You just have to remember that. The hardest part is over. Just keep going. Find that balance. Don't stop until you find it. Be an individual. Use your resources. And then last but not least, be you. Be yourself. Be unapologetically you. All right? That has been your May 2018 tarot reading. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. You could also subscribe to the family because I would love to see it grow. And yeah, make sure you are hitting the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload for your sign, as well as other videos that I have planned. Also, if you would like a private reading or if you like to book anything, any business inquiries, you can email me at lovefromaleo@gmail.com, or you can add me on Instagram at atela_amor. And yeah, I should start posting very soon on my Instagram because there's a lot of new things coming my way. I took a long break. I love photography. That is one of my passions. So I will start to incorporate some tarot stuff on there, and just how I use photography to speak for my spirituality. And I would really love if you guys join that. So please go ahead and add me on there. And yeah, I am Love from a Leo. If I'm not your favorite Leo, one day I will be. And until next time, my beautiful, beautiful Capricorn, I will see you very, very soon. Bye.